Santa Clara. Folks, this is Super Bowl 60, and we've got an outstanding matchup on tap. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Miami Dolphins taking on the NFC champions. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. I mean, this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for in a Super Bowl team.
There he goes, left side. He's inside the 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown.
Brandon, this is the Super Bowl. A touchdown scored in any game is big. In this one, it's massive.
The extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Dolphins nothing.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
At their own 27-yard line.
Throwing right away is Williams. Got an open man, it's Pickens. Now he's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 13 yards on the game's opening play. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And you know, I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to, and he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed, and he saw that his...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Ashton Jeanty, 32 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. And for the extra point, Cameron Dicker. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece.
That ties the game at 7. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll run. This is Bashir Tootin. And some room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown. Bashir Tootin, 65 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one.
Dolphins 7.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Oh, good return up past the 30.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up first and 10. Completes this one to Pickens. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll fake the give. Now Williams. It's caught. Mitchell. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Second down and a yard. A run straight ahead with Genty. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ballgame. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Play action. Now Williams. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On the draw, here's Genty. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. To throw, Williams. Now he's going to step up and run. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
first down. It's Genty.
And a short gain here, down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd down and 9. To the air, Williams. Finds Pickens out right.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Looking to throw is Williams. That's to the left side, taken in by Hunter.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
Well, remember, they had the quick strike touchdown the last time they had the ball, but this time they're having to work for it. What a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive alive.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Throwing is Williams. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is it still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Genty.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
They'll come up now, 3rd and 9. Here's Williams. He'll try and do this himself. And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
A 28-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger.
They'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen to Tootin. And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. Second quarter coming your way next. 14-10 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory, down at the 33.
70 Timberwolves.
He'll look to throw. Short throw caught by Pitts. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's 2nd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second and 5.
Come on, set.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw again. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. They'll turn things over to Brandon Aubrey now for the field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So it was 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3, but I'm not sure that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all, but the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And great field position coming up as he gets this just shy of the 45, out of bounds at the 44.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Williams. He completes it to Hunter. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Williams. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Off the play fake, it's Williams. That is caught by Hunter. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
To throw, it's Williams. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Johnson with a completion over the middle.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. They'll look to throw for it with Williams. He'll try and do this himself, and he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Caleb Williams, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are within an extra point of tying up this ball game.
That's a really good decision right there outside of the pocket. You've got to know the right time to shift from passer to runner. He was looking and looking, nothing there. You can almost feel the brainwaves firing as he calculates, I think I can win a race to the pylon. And he turns out to be right. Touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half.
Dicker to kick off.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
At their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it.
He's got a man complete. Down the sideline he goes. And all the way in for the touchdown. Brian Thomas, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dragons are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Aubrey now for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now.
Makes the score Dragons 24, Dolphins 17.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Vegas, Vegas, what is it up?
Back to throw. Williams is going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Williams looking to do it himself. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
What is it up?
Now a handoff to Genty. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They'll come out in a 4-receiver look. 3 men to the right side on 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Williams. That's going to be caught by Pickens. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. 2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl.
40-yard line.
What is it up?
From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
2nd and 10.
What is up?
A give out of the gun to Genty. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 64 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
Right back to Genty on first down. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. 2nd and 4. Got an open man, it's Pickens. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
That's good for Dolphins. First down. 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
A run out of the gun with Genty.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball on the 8, it's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Williams. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Travis Hunter, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Dicker now to tack on the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime.
That ties the game 24-24. Cameron Dicker to kick off.
Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. Ooh, the juke. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready, set.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Here we go, here we go.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time. They'll keep it on the ground. And And the defense obviously expecting run as well, as they're going to shut that one down at the line of scrimmage. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Third down and 10.
Get it. Mustang 19, 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. 19 tight, 19 tight. Ready, ready.
They're going to look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. It's caught inside the 25. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on first and 10.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 79 Broncos. 18 Pioneer. Ready.
Looking to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 37. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they trail here in the Super Bowl, but fortunately for them, Charles, very much still within striking range.
Yeah, things didn't go exactly the way they planned in the first half. To me, they appeared to be a little bit tight, made a few errors they normally wouldn't. But, of course, this is the Super Bowl, so things get a little bit heightened in that regard. But I think they have to feel a little fortunate. They're only down what they are here starting the third quarter.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second and 9. Looking to throw. Williams. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. Now he's free at the 35. And he'll be taken down at the 26. A big pickup of 38.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On the give, Genty down to the 25. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Second and 9.
What is up?
Play action. Now Williams. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw, Williams. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
What is...
On the give, Genty. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Jalen Watson dropped him defensively.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To the air, Williams. Now he'll tuck this and run. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go.
Ready, set up!
Genty going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. Second and goal from the 1.
Ready, set up!
Blue. Diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown.
And maybe that's the magic touch right there. They didn't use him at all in the first half, at least running the football. But here they entrust him with some work down in the red zone, and he responds. 1 carry, 1 touchdown.
Extra point try now from Dicker. And that will make this a 4-point game.
Makes the score Dolphins 31,
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Okay, ready?
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Come on.
And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 91 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
First down, Dragons.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
In motion, the tight end. They'll look to throw here on first down. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll look to throw here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Ball on the 27. Here's second and a yard.
Let's go now.
One back in the backfield. He'll get the carry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and second and 1 is now third and 3.
Panther 60.
Back to throw here. Able to find the open man. That's complete. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So here's a first and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Thomas will come in motion right. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. They'll try and set up the screen to Tootin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Harrison will go in motion left. Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second down and 8.
Cowboy, ready. Hawk 70, Hawk, ready.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Bashal Tootin, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Dragons have regained the lead in the second half of this Super Bowl. But plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead.
And now it's blocked. This is going the other way. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Oftentimes when you give up a touchdown, it's really a deflation for your entire unit. And the special teams group, when they run out there, they still feel it, and maybe they don't go after it so much. Instead, they gave great effort there, blocked the extra point, and really gave them a lift after giving up the score.
Yeah, gave up the touchdown, lost the lead, but a nice job to get in there and block it. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we're at the time in the Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Tanner Muse there defensively.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Looking to throw is Williams. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Throwing is Williams. He'll try to pick it up himself. But he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a 1st down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Now it's Genty, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Williams. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Williams. Now he's going to step up and run. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A one-score game, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line. And that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Ready.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out 1st downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Okay,
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
come on. Hit. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Ready, right?
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Thomas has got it, complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
First down.
Let's go. 60 Bison, 60 Bison. 60 Ready.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Short throw caught by Pitts. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's 2nd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Play clock down to 2, and we get a signal and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
on the ready.
2nd and 7.
Bronco 80. Connect. Panther 60. Panther 60.
They'll set up a throw. Going for Kyle Pitts again. He's got him again. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Ready, set.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory, down at the 31.
Here we go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 140 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Panther 11. Panther 11. Ready.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The 7-yard line.
Two minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Ready, ready. Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got a man, it's his fullback.
Well, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
This is 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Williams.
Complete. This is Mitchell. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
It's a gain of 38 yards. That's good for a Dolphins first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Two timeouts remaining, but time is of the essence. Down 2 scores. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Williams. That's caught by Johnson. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
Well, defensively there, you want to play it a little safe and keep the action in front of you, but you definitely aren't looking to give up plays like that. They still got the cushion of a 2-score lead, but don't give them a freebie here in the final minute.
Here's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, a throw for Williams. Now he'll tap, and he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision, and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits are on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Dicker now to tack on the extra point. And the lead is down to 2.
Makes the score Dragons 40. Dolphins 38.
So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Ready, go!
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Ready, ready?
Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
Commissioner Goodell on the podium to make the presentation of the Lombardi Trophy to a very worthy franchise. They are your Super Bowl 60 champions. So that'll conclude another captivating season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for Charles Davis and all the hardworking men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying good night from Santa Clara.